Yo, Bracy Skills Clinic's back with another video. Special video, man. Happy Father's Day, man. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. Um, I posted a meme on my Facebook, man, that I found really funny. As far as like how to best describe Father's Day, it was two pictures. One picture was Olive Garden, and another picture was Little Caesars. And of course, on top of the Olive Garden picture, it was Mother's Day, and then on top of the Little Caesars picture, it was Father's Day, just to kind of show how society treats Father's Day. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. As a father myself, um, it's a special day because those that are present and do great things for their kids as a father, whether you're a boy dad, girl dad, or both. This is our day, man. We got to take advantage of it. We don't get this many days. Society doesn't put the spotlight on good fathers like they probably should. But hey, man, take advantage of this day, man. This is the day to kind of recognize our efforts and keep going. And as a father, you are the leader of the household, and this is our day to be appreciated. So shout out to all the fathers out there. Definitely had to get that out the way. So I'm gonna go right into what this video is gonna be about, which doesn't really relate to Father's Day, but I just have to make sure I acknowledge the good fathers. But today's video is about shooting slumps and how to deal with a shooting slump. Everybody deals with a shooting slump. Even the current best player in the NBA, Steph Curry, Finals MVP, deals with shooting slumps. Okay, his teammate might go down as the second best shooter ever, Klay Thompson, goes through shooting slumps. Everybody go through shooting slumps. It's really how you deal with it, also staying confident, and trying to identify why you're in the slump. As a former shooter, no, I didn't shoot the ball as well as Stephen Curry or Klay, of course, but those in the area that see me play and played against me and can vouch, they'll tell you that my game was definitely a shooter. Catch and shoot off screens, pin downs. I mean, I shot off the dribble, but I didn't really dance with the ball. I mean, off the dribble more so maybe a step back here and there, but mostly pull-ups, pump fake, 1-2 dribble pull-ups, things like that. That was my game, right? As a shooter, the one thing that you have to learn is how to stay even keel. That is, other than like form, technique, getting the reps up, that is probably the next most important thing as a shooter, is learning how to stay even keel. Don't get too high, don't get too low. I'm not saying that you can't celebrate and go like Melo used to go when you hit a three, or do some of the Steph Curry wild things, shooting turn. I'm not saying you can't do that, but at the same time, you can't. That's celebrating the moment. You can't let the moment get you carried away, because with shooting, it's always next shot. Even when you're on fire, it's always next shot, because shooting is a very tricky thing, to where you can hit 5 in a row and then miss your next 6. You just don't want to be that type of shooter where you're so hot, so cold. So the main thing is staying even keel. Even keel meaning that I'm always going to shoot the next shot the same way, and I'm not going to carry over the results of the previous shot into my next shot. Make or miss. Because I've seen shooters hit 4 in a row, get overly excited, and then start just doing crazy stuff, changing up their forms, throwing the ball just because they're feeling it. And it's a shot. The ball doesn't have a mind, right? The ball doesn't have a mind. The basketball doesn't have a mind. So the basketball that you're shooting and the basket that you're shooting into is not going to get excited with you. Therefore, that ball is only going to know how to get to the basket a certain way. If you're used to shooting a certain way, you got to shoot the same way every time you do decide to shoot. So you can't get carried away even when you're making shots. But when you're missing, the problem I see with especially young kids, even high schoolers, even college players, really, is they allow their confidence to really disrupt everything that they've worked on. You got to get reps up as a shooter. You got to shoot lots of shots. But you also got to tell yourself and remind yourself, hey, I shoot a lot. I work on this a lot. I rep this a lot. So even when I'm missing, my confidence should never go down, because my mentality should be I shoot more than the average basketball player. So eventually my shots are going to drop because I work on it and I practice it every day. That should be the mindset even when you're missing. And I'm going to tell you guys a trick. You can shoot 0 for 6 and still be on, not be off. I'm going to say it again. You can shoot and start the game and miss your first 6 shots, start off 0 for 6 and still be on. You can shoot 2 for 4 and be off. Let me explain this. Let's dissect it. So, as a shooter, you got to pay attention to how you make and miss shots. So, for example, if I'm 0 for 6 and 4 of those 6 shots literally rattled in and out, and the other 2 misses were back rim. Everything on target looked good, felt good when they left my hand. 4 of them went in and out. The other 2 hit back rim. The statistics are going to say, man, he's having an off night. This is why I'm not so big on numbers, analytics. The numbers are going to tell you that you're having an off night because you're 0 for 6. The eye test and the ability and the reps is going to tell you, hey, man, you just shot 6 shots, just so happened just to not go in. They were all on target. They were in and out, back rim. You're not off. But take a person that starts the game off going 2 for 4. And he hits a mid-range from the front side of the basket, hits the backboard, right? Directly, like inside the top of the key, mid-range. He shoots, hits the backboard, goes in. Made shot, right? Then he shoots another 3 from the top of the key, hits the backboard again, goes in. The other 2 shots he missed, air balls, right? Hear me out. The percentages are going to say that the person that is 2 for 4 is having a better shooting game than the person that's shooting 0 for 6. Granted, that's partially true, because the one that's 2 for 4 actually made shots. If it goes in, it goes in. However, when you're judging yourself on your shot, yes, I made 2 shots, but the 2 shots I made were off backboard from angles that I probably shouldn't be trying to aim for the backboard on. And the 2 misses I had were air balls. Whereas the other person that shot 0 for 6, 4 in and outs, 2 back rim shots. So if at this pace, whatever that those 2 people are doing with their forms and techniques, at this pace, I'm going to bet money that the person that shot 0 for 6, or that is shooting 0 for 6, is going to have a better turnaround than the person that is currently shooting 2 for 4, and none of those shots that he made or misses were on target. I'm saying all this to say you got to pay attention to how the ball is going to the basket, because sometimes you can be 0 for 6 and the ball just doesn't fall. It happens. I mean, you can have the perfect form and you're still going to miss a shot. So you got to really pay attention. This is why Steph can be on the bench of a game 3 smiling, right? This is why guys don't get rattled when they're in slumps a certain way, because if all of their shots they're shooting are on target and it just doesn't happen to just drop in the basket, there's really nothing to be concerned about. There's nothing that they need to change on their form. They just need to keep shooting. Whereas the person that just wasn't on target, we got to figure out what's wrong with that person's technique. You're off. You're hitting backboard. You're shooting air balls. You're hitting your shots is going to the left or to the right, or they're always short, or they're way hard. You're hitting the backboard on your misses. It's hitting backboard and the rim at the same time. You know those hard misses that you guys see on the court. Like, so you got to pay attention to those things when you're in a shooting slump, because sometimes it might not even be a slump. It might just be the ball just wasn't going in. You were on target on every shot, it just didn't drop. You're not off. It just didn't fall. Got to know the difference. I tell my guys all the time that I train, always self-analyze. Self-analyze every shot. You can literally coach yourself on every shot. You can literally tell yourself what you should have done differently on every miss. You can. Though the great shooters all do that. So you don't want to just be shooting and just don't have any conscience of where the ball's going, the trajectory of the flight of the ball. Is it going to the right, to the left? Like, you got to pay attention to all those things, because sometimes people tell themselves they're in the slump when they're really not in the slump. So as a shooter, pay attention to how you're making and missing shots, okay? As far as the mental part comes from the reps. You're going to stay mentally strong if you know you put the work in. To me, I feel like you should only be mentally weak if you know you haven't been getting shots up. If you know you haven't prepared, then yeah, you may be mentally, your mental might not be right. Therefore, if you haven't been working on your shot, you probably shouldn't be shooting a lot of shots as far as threes and different shots, because you haven't worked on it. You're gonna put your team at a disadvantage. But if you know every day you're confidently putting up shots and counting the makes, shooting reps, shooting all different types of shots, catch and shoot, on the move, inside foot, off the dribble, punt fake, whatever. If you know that you're repping those out, your confidence should never go away. It shouldn't, because you've put the work in. So that's how you deal with the mental. So, like, for example, if you have a rough shooting night, you go 3 for 17 from the field, rough shooting night. The best way to get out of that mentally, go right to the gym. Like, right after the game, if you can. If you can stay in your high school, college gym, do that. If you got to go to 24-hour fitness after or something like that, or LA Fitness, do that. That's how you snap out of it. Go spend 2 hours. Use that as therapy. Therapy. Shooting therapy. That's what I like to call it. Shooting therapy. You had a rough shooting game. Get right in the gym. Don't sleep on that. The great ones don't sleep on. Don't sleep on that. Get right to the gym and shoot. If you know you had a tough game, that is how you stay upbeat. That's how you stay ready. That's how you put the bad performances behind you. I'm giving y'all a free game, and you're talking to a real shooter. You're talking to a real shooter. I'm giving y'all a free game. You have a rough shooting night, get right to the gym. I don't care if it's right after the coach gives his post-game speech. You got to hit one of the assistants and say, Coach, can we stay an extra 30 minutes? Can you rebound for me? You got to do tricky things to give yourself an edge, so that you don't allow the missed shots to really take over your mental. It's like cancer. Once it takes over your mind, it's a wrap. You can't allow it to take over your mind. Right into the gym, shooting therapy right after a tough game. That's how you deal with it on the mental side. Other than that, man, the only way you get out of a slump, really, besides the things I just named, is by shooting the basketball. So if you're in a slump and you just now all of a sudden your shot attempts went from 10 to 15 down to 3 to 5 because you're so scared to miss because you haven't been making shots, this game is not built for you, bro. If you're turning down shots because you're so scared to miss because you've had a history of missing shots in the same game or in the previous game or all week, this game is not built for you. You got to be a killer out there on that court. You can't. A lion in the jungle doesn't get down on themselves because another lion got food and they didn't. They don't just say, I don't want to get that zebra over there because I didn't get the zebra over there. The other lions came out, got it. I barely got a piece. So I know it's a zebra right there, but I don't want it. I don't want to take that chance because I didn't get it. Man, a lion is going to be like, oh, I'm getting this one. I'm getting that one. By any means necessary, I'm getting that one. And if they don't get that one, they're going to find the next one. Then they're just going to be a starving animal that's just going to be like, man, I got to get it. You got to have a lion mindset as a shooter. Okay? You can't be so negative and allow the missed shots to affect your confidence so much to the point where now you're scared to shoot. That happens a lot. Can't do that. Every shot, you got to feel like you're going to make it. Look at Reggie Miller. The 30 for 30, it's about maybe 10 years old, but man, if you're a student of the game, go back and watch them 30 for 30s on the Pacers and Knicks. I don't know what it's called. It might be Pacers versus Knicks, but man, Reggie Miller, all them clutch games, Miller had those big fourth quarter moments. He started off the game struggling, missing shots. Spike Lee in his ear talking to him, and then now he just woke up, man. Confidence never went down. He misses shots. Madison Square Garden is going after him. Even this year with the Warriors and the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? Like, confidence can't drop. Can't drop. That's the main thing with being in a shooting slump. So I've helped many with how to deal with being in a slump. Okay, you got to get reps up. Number one. Number two, you got to pay attention to how you're shooting, make or miss. Pay attention, analyze your own shot. Number three, you stay in that slump by not shooting. You get out the slump by being confident and continuing to shoot the basketball. Those three things, most important things, being in the shooting slump. I hope I helped somebody today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Once again, for the final time, happy Father's Day to all those good fathers out there, those basketball dads for sure, man. I'm not in that category yet. My son's too young, but I see the grind, the effort, being there, being present. Even the ones that are a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, we know, but at the same time, they're there. And you can't knock them for being there. No matter how crazy some of these fathers can get, they're still there. So we got to keep that in mind when we're, bashing fathers for how they decide to deal with their child over this basketball stuff. They're present. It's a lot of fathers that are not present, and they're present. So that's why we got to salute to them. Hopefully you guys have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Once again, we out.